My beloved, do not doubt that this moment is meant for you. Even now I am drawing you close, whispering to your soul that this is a sacred time set aside just for us. Let your guard fall, and listen with every fiber of your being, for there is something I would place within you today that will stir waters you thought had run dry. You have tasted emptiness and distraction before when you sought answers elsewhere, but here, as you settle in my presence, you will not leave unfulfilled. This is not like any other word you have heard. Here you will receive a message unlike any before, for I speak now not with distant echoes or second-hand translations, but as a loving creator speaking directly into the deepest corners of your heart. Before you ever spoke my name, I knew you. When you wondered whether you were seen or understood, my eyes were searching the expanse of your heart, turning over the stones you tried to hide, and marveling at the tenderness you kept buried. Every hope you dared nurture, every doubt you tried to silence, I have been attentive to them all. I am not far off. I am not watching from the shadows, nor standing aloof while you struggle. Feel the assurance now that I, the author of your story, am near and wholly invested in your journey, desiring to walk with you every step. Even now, as you breathe this moment in, my presence covers you like a gentle rain after drought. I want you to know that there is nothing you must prove, no elaborate rituals, no perfect words required. My love wraps close around your fears, and my truth steadies the trembling places inside you. I see how the world has pressed you to measure yourself by shifting standards and fleeting applause. But I invite you away from all that striving. Come, be still. Let your soul rest in me, and know that I alone will satisfy you, not with empty promises, but with living hope and a peace that fools the storms. You wonder if the longing inside you will ever be met, that hunger for something more, something real. You have tried to fill it with distractions, achievements, attention, even with doubt and anger, but nothing quite soothed the ache. It is not because you are broken beyond repair or unlovable. It is because I shaped you for relationship with me, and only I can fill the places meant for my light. You are not defective for feeling restless or searching for deeper purpose. It is my calling card upon your soul, a reminder that you were designed for intimacy with the divine. Listen, there are mysteries ahead, treasures that await discovery, and I rejoice as you lean in closer. The world urges you to run faster, to fill your calendar, to measure out your days in checklists and worries. Yet I invite another way, the way of presence and abiding a life not ruled by fear of missing out, but by confidence that every step is guided and every moment redeemed. This is the truth I have for you. You do not need to chase after worth, for I have already called you mine. Your value rests in my delight, my rejoicing over you, not in any achievement or mistake. Rest in this intimacy, for I am not ashamed of your weakness. Where you see only frailty, I see opportunity for grace to abound. If you have fallen, if your heart carries regrets that weigh heavy and sharp, lay them before me. There is no stain too deep for my compassion, no pattern too entrenched for transformation. My mercy is not rationed or reserved for a select few. It pours lavishly, cleansing the wounds you try to hide and crowning you with honor. I have not finished the work in you, and I will not abandon you midway. My invitation stands. Surrender the burdens you bear to me. Let go of the masks you wear to protect yourself, and let my love surprise you with its gentleness and endurance. I do not require perfection. What I desire is honesty, the sound of your real voice, the gift of your truest self. In those vulnerable exchanges, healing flows. You can be raw with me. You can bring your anger, your questions, and your secret disappointments without fear of rejection. I am teaching you to exchange, striving for surrender, anxiety for trust. I take the fragments of your dreams, the things you call failure, and I craft them into something beautiful. The things that make you sigh in despair do not scare me away. Instead, they draw forth my compassion and my power to renew. Trust my timing, for I am not slow or distracted. What feels like delay to you is preparation in my hands, a space carved out for something far better than you imagine. I am speaking softly to the hurting and anxious places in your soul. Do not wrest the pen from my hand in panic or try to finish the story on your own. Your part is to remain close, to return to me when you wander off, to rest in my unshakable promise that I am always working, even when you see no evidence yet. I am not bound by the limitations you see, nor am I weary of reaching out to you again and again. Each time you need a fresh start, I am there. My arms wide, my welcome certain. Beloved, I delight in you not for what you do, but for who you are to me. My affection is not contingent on your performance or your circumstances. I see your laughter, your tears, your daily faithfulness when no one notices. I rejoice over you, for you are precious in my sight. I am not distant or indifferent. I am the shepherd who calls you by name and carries you close to my heart through valleys and mountaintops alike. Even in hardship, when the path feels dark and the future uncertain, I am with you. My presence does not flicker in the shadows. It becomes your lamp and your shelter. Do not be afraid to ask for help, to cry out in confusion or grief. My shoulders are broad enough for your burdens, my wisdom deep enough to unravel every knot in your understanding. In your lowest moments, I am already at work, weaving good from threads of pain. Know that you are not forgotten, not a face in a crowd or a number in a list. Every detail of your life matters to me. The simple joys, the battles behind closed doors, the small acts of kindness, each one is seen and cherished. I am attentive to your prayers, even those whispered wordlessly from a weary spirit. When you think you go unnoticed, remember that I am the God who sees, the one who treasures your heart. Draw near to me, rest your head on my chest, and listen for the steady heartbeat of love that never fails or grows tired. Let that assurance settle confusion and bring peace to restless thoughts. My favor is not fickle, it is enduring, secure, steadfast. Choose now to trust in my character, to believe in my goodness, even when the evidence seems thin. Press in, for the fullness of my love is waiting for you, abundant, overflowing, never-ending. I see the yearning within you, that quiet ache sometimes hidden, sometimes so loud it drowns out everything else. I know every longing that stirs deep in your heart, even the ones you barely admit to yourself. In all the winding roads that have brought you to this moment, I have been near, closer than your very breath. Do not mistake my gentle presence for absence. Where you have felt alone, I have stood beside you, watching over you with a gaze that misses nothing and overlooks no detail of your story. Every tear, every sigh, every unspoken prayer has been gathered and treasured by me. Nothing about your journey is hidden from my notice, nor is there any shadow so dark that my light cannot reach it. My love is not distant or reserved for some imagined future. It is for you here and now, in the midst of the ordinary and the struggle alike. Your soul was fashioned by my own hands, shaped with purpose, marked by unique beauty, designed for life, not merely to survive, but to flourish in the unfailing goodness of my love. The world has told you many false stories about who you are and what you can become, but I hold the truth, and I am giving it to you freely. I call you beloved, not because you have earned or deserved it, but simply because you are mine. Nothing you do can erase that mark, neither your triumphs nor your failures. Let this sink past the surface of your mind. I want you just as you are, but I also see the greater self you can grow into with me. Every weakness is an invitation to lean on my strength, and every strength is a gift I delight to watch unfold. You have hungered for affirmation and chased after fleeting comforts, Yet only in my love will you find satisfaction that endures. Do not fear what surfaces when you are quiet with me. I am not shocked by your doubts or weary of your repeated questions. Bring all of it, the mess and the glory. I am not seeking a performance but an honest heart. My invitation is not to strive but to rest and learn what it means to be truly known. Even in your wandering, I have kept a place for you at my table, a place no one else can fill. Lift your eyes, look beyond the narratives that tell you you are not enough. Those stories do not have the final word. I see potential in you that waits to be awakened, dreams planted by my own spirit that have not yet unfolded. Time with me is not wasted time. It is the soil where those sacred seeds begin to break open and show signs of life. Every moment you spend with me, listening, waiting, trusting, is never forgotten. I see the sacrifices, the secret acts of kindness, the moments when you chose love over retaliation or hope over despair, even when no one else saw. These are precious in my sight. If you have stumbled and feel weighed down by regret, bring it to me. There is no stain so deep that I cannot cleanse it, no wound too painful for my healing. My forgiveness is not rationed or given reluctantly, it flows freely, abundant beyond measure, restoring not just your reputation but the innermost parts of your heart. In my presence, shame loses its grip. You are permitted to begin again as often as you need. I will never tire of welcoming you home. See yourself through my eyes, a beloved child, worthy of new beginnings. In the quiet moments when you feel forgotten, remember that I am steadily working behind the scenes of your life. My timing is not slow as you might think, but perfectly attuned to the fullness of your journey. When doors seem closed and prayers unanswered, know that I am preparing something more than you could imagine, teaching you to trust my ways rather than your hurried schedules. My promise is not that you will always understand what I am doing, but that I will never abandon you. I am weaving every detail, even the disappointments, into a tapestry of grace designed for your ultimate good. Rest now in this truth. Your worth does not fluctuate with your performance, your popularity, or your possessions. It is anchored in my unwavering character, rooted in the immovable foundation of my love. Do not compare yourself to others or measure your progress with their rulers. I delight in you for who you are, not what you accomplish. Surrender the pressure to prove yourself and begin to walk in the freedom I designed for you. There are gifts within you waiting to be discovered, not for your glory but for the joy of co-creating beauty with me. Let your heart be open to the gentle nudges of my spirit. You may notice a sudden thought, an urge to reach out, or an idea that glows warm and persistent. These are often my invitations, subtle yet powerful, guiding you toward the fullness of life I have prepared. Even small acts of faithfulness, an encouraging word, a patient response, a forgiving gesture carry more weight than you realize. Nothing done in my love is ever insignificant. Trust that I see what others overlook and reward what is treasured in secret. Bring me your burdens, those heavy things you carry so long that they have become part of you. Lay them down, not with fear of judgment, but with hope of relief. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light, because I bear it with you. Where you feel crushed by expectations, yours or others, invite me into that space. I am not here to break you, but to lift you up, to strengthen what is weak, and to breathe new life into weary bones. Each day is a new invitation to release yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's anxieties, to simply be present with me, alive to the possibilities of today. I know the dreams you scarcely dare to speak aloud. Some may seem too big, others too fragile. Yet I delight in partnering with you to bring them to life. Do not shut down hope because of past disappointments. Trust that with me, nothing is wasted. Everything you have walked through, the pain and the joy, can become seed for a beautiful harvest. I do not promise a life without challenges, but I promise to be your steady companion in every valley and on every mountain. Hold fast to my love as your anchor, and you will not be swept away. If you would meet me in this place of honesty, trusting that my acceptance is real, you will find peace that cannot be taken from you. Let your heart rest in the assurance that you matter to me. I am not impatient with your process. Growth takes time, and every step forward with me is celebrated. Be kind to yourself, as I am kind to you. My hope for you goes beyond your past or present. I see the person you are becoming, radiant with my life. Stay close, listen well, and see what wonders can unfold when you trust in my love. Even now, as you linger in my presence, notice how your heart leans in toward hope, how the quiet longing within you reaches for more than routine and mere survival. I delight in this. I am closer than your next breath, attentive to even the smallest whisper that leaves your lips. You may wonder how to recognize my voice amid the surging noise of doubt, distraction, and fear. Listen when you sense courage stirring where there was only fatigue, that is my spirit. When new clarity dawns in places muddied by confusion, that's me guiding your thoughts. You are not meant to wander in darkness or to carry burdens alone. My help is not distant nor impersonal. I am invested in the details that others overlook, crafting beauty even from pain that feels senseless. You may remember times when you tried to press ahead, striving to make your plan succeed on your own. Yet the ache of striving without true rest leaves the soul weary and hollow. When you collapse in confusion, my arms never fail. My strength is made perfect where human ability ends. My child, let your weaknesses, those places you want to conceal, be entryways for my compassion. Do not judge your journey by the world's standards or compare your unfolding story to anyone else's. What I write with your days is singular and precious to me. Some days you might feel like you are in the waiting room of life, glancing at closed doors, rehearsing disappointment, or fearing that nothing is changing. But I do my greatest work in seasons that look barren to the natural eye. In the silence, your roots are growing deep. Every prayer, even those voiced through sighs or tears, is heard and treasured. You measure progress with outward things, but I often bring growth in places hidden from view, weaving virtues of peace, patience, and endurance within your soul. Trust the work you cannot yet see. There will be moments when the temptation arises to isolate, to give up, to believe that your story is too ordinary or too broken for my attention. Resist the urge to withdraw into loneliness. I formed you for connection, both with me and with those I have placed around you. Even in relationships that feel complicated or disappointing, I am at work, teaching your heart both to receive and to give the kind of love that sets captives free. Where others fell short or left unhealed wounds, entrust those scars to me. Healing is not an instant event, but a process in which my kindness mends even the deepest injuries. Turn to me with your resentment, your confusion, and your thirst for justice. I work on your behalf, my justice mingled always with mercy. When the torrent of anxious thoughts threatens to overwhelm, steady your mind with the knowledge that I am the unshakable anchor. The world offers solutions that numb for a moment, and strategies that exhaust over time. I offer myself my presence, my attention, my unwavering love. Invite me into your racing thoughts. Let the assurance of my closeness settle your heart like still water after the storm. Choose to bring me your worries as many times as they rise up. I am patient. I do not weary of your honesty. The repetition of returning to me forms the pathway where my peace takes root. There are days when my voice feels faint, muffled beneath noise both external and inside your own heart. In these times, remember that my faithfulness is not measured by your feelings. My promises are not subject to the changing moods of your soul. I do not vanish in your forgetfulness or anger or disappointment. My patience outlasts your restlessness, my commitment to you unshaken by every stumble and detour. I call you beloved, not because of what you have achieved, but as the unwavering identity I have given you, sewn into the fabric of your being before you took your first breath. Slow down today, even if only with a single conscious breath, and allow yourself to be aware of my steady gaze upon you. There is no judgment in my eyes, only a deep, tender longing to walk with you through every circumstance. When you feel misunderstood or overlooked by others, know that I see you fully. You are never a background character in my story. You are central to my heart's affection. Your laughter delights me, your tears move me, and I rejoice in every moment you look my way. I am not far removed or indifferent to the specifics of your circumstances. Do not buy the lie that I am too busy or uninterested, or that your needs are too small to capture my attention. Just as a gardener tends every growing thing with loving detail, so I nurture the dreams, the disappointments, and the quiet yearnings within you, even those prayers you've set aside or forgotten. I carry. My timing does not always follow the patterns you expect, but my timing is always drawn from love and wisdom you may not see until the fullness has come. Sometimes you may wonder if the hardships you face are evidence of my absence. In truth, adversity does not prove that I have left you, but that I trust you to grow supported and strengthened by me through challenges that refine your character. Do not let difficulty separate you from hope or distort your understanding of my heart. With each hardship, I pour in new strength, insights, and tenacity. Nothing you endure is wasted. All is woven into a tapestry of redemption, even when you only perceive one tangled thread. I long for you to live not under the shadow of shame, but in the freedom of forgiveness. My grace is enough not just for the beginning of your journey, but for every misstep and every doubt along the way. There is no wound too deep, no mistake too entangled, that my love cannot unravel and restore. Confess your fears and failures freely to me, not with dread, but with trust in my gentleness. I do not scold you away. I run to meet you every time you reach for me. As you open your heart, you will begin to notice small signs of my presence, the sudden burst of gratitude, or the courage to say yes to an invitation that breaks isolation. These simple moments are gifts, invitations into the deeper life I intend for you. Accept them without needing to analyze or explain. Let joy find you, even in unexpected places. Joy is not something to chase, but something to receive. Rest in the truth that you are known, loved, and wanted. I have never regretted making you, and I hold no record of shame against you. Be still and hear me whisper again. You are not alone, not forgotten, not abandoned. Each ordinary day holds seeds of extraordinary grace, and my delight is not in what you accomplish, but in who you are becoming with me. Let hope rise, for the best chapters are still being written. In the quiet moments where your thoughts run wild, I am nearer than the rush of your own heartbeat. Many times, you wonder if I am attentive to the small details that disturb your peace, the hesitations before decisions, the subtle disappointments, the ache of longing. I am acutely aware. Not even a whisper escapes my notice, for I treasure every strand of your story and the silent battles you face within. Trust that my presence does not falter, even when circumstances feel cold or distant. I have always been the shelter for the weary, the healer for the ones who carry invisible burdens. Your struggles are not trivial to me. With every sigh, I gather you closer, offering rest that transcends understanding. There is a pathway beneath your feet, one I have designed with gentle care. Do not strive to trace its every twist with your sight that is not your burden to bear. Instead, believe that even in confusion, I am cultivating good soil underfoot. The seeds you plant in faith, kindness, humility, generosity, these will flourish in their due season. Release your grip on the desire to control every outcome. There is freedom in letting me shepherd you through uncertain terrain. You are safest when you walk beside me, leaving outcomes and timing in my hands. My wisdom is immeasurable. I can see where you cannot, clear paths through thickets you would never suspect, and lead you to streams you could not imagine. When fear comes, as it inevitably does, remember this: fear speaks in shadows and echoes. Its threats are vapor compared to the solid foundation I lay for you. Let not your heart be troubled by thoughts that multiply anxiety or by words spoken out of doubt. Instead, take every anxiety and wrap it in the mantle of my promises. As you surrender what weighs upon you, you'll discover that courage flows not from perfect circumstances, but from knowing I am steadfast on your behalf. Even when you feel unsteady, I remain unshaken. My strength stretches far beyond your weaknesses. Where you see limitation, I see opportunity for my glory to shine through your story. I am not a distant observer, but an active participant in your daily life. I delight in sharing your laughter, soothing your pain, and whispering hope into the hollow places. There is no wound I cannot touch, no past mistake beyond my ability to redeem. If you dare to open old doors, those ones barricaded by shame or regret, I promise to meet you there with gentle hands. I do not break bruised reeds or snuff out a faint, flickering flame. Instead, I restore, I breathe life, I make whole again. Trust that every broken shard can be made into a brilliant mosaic when placed in my hands. Let me remind you that your worth is not measured by achievements, possessions, or the approval of others. You are precious to me simply because you are mine, beloved from the start and never an afterthought. Let these words silence the accusations that ring loudly in your mind, convincing you that you must prove yourself or earn my affection. Love is not something you chase. It is the ground you walk on, the air you breathe, the gentle sunlight warming you each new morning. In seasons of flourishing and in times of scarcity, my love remains unchanging. It is inexhaustible, unable to be depleted no matter the trials you face. At times you strive for perfection, believing only flawless effort will please me, but I cherish authenticity over performance. Bring me your questions, your confusion, even your anger. I am not threatened or surprised, nor am I disappointed when you stumble. I see every effort and every fall, and what moves my heart most is your willingness to come to me, honest and unguarded. My mercy is not rationed. It flows continuously, ready to wash over you again and again. Lean into grace, knowing it is in your weakness that my strength becomes most evident. Some days are heavy, and you may wonder if your prayers reach beyond the ceiling. Know that my response is not restrained by distance or silence. Often I am working in ways you cannot yet see, weaving together new beginnings from threads of loss and waiting. Trust the slow work of transformation, for not every miracle thunders in with spectacle. Sometimes, my greatest acts unfold quietly, like the steady growth of roots beneath fertile soil. Those who learn to wait expectantly, even in the midnight hours, will find themselves surprised by the dawn. You are part of an unbreakable story, one I have been telling since the beginning of all things. Your life, with its peaks and valleys, contributes to a tapestry more radiant than you can fathom. Do not compare your chapter to another's. Each thread has its own hue and texture, assigned and woven with purpose. Even in the mundane routines I am at work, using ordinary tasks and mundane choices to build in you a character that reflects my heart. Nothing is wasted, not a single tear, not a moment of laughter, not the smallest act of kindness offered in love. Pause and breathe, letting my presence settle around you like a gentle embrace. When you feel restless or unseen, call out to me. I listen and answer, not always with immediacy, but always with an answer shaped by wisdom and perfect timing. My child, you are never overlooked, never orphaned in the universe. I walk beside you through every valley and stand as your banner on every hilltop. Allow your heart to settle, In this assurance you are profoundly known and immeasurably loved by me, every hour, every day. There is a rhythm to your days that often escapes your notice as you hurry and strive and chase after so many expectations. I see your heart in all its sincerity and effort, yet I long for you to sense the unforced rhythms of my grace. When you awaken, I am with you. When you lie down, my presence covers you. In the spaces between when worry or weariness presses close, I urge you to turn again toward me as naturally as you would lift your face to the dawn. Let me teach you the gentle ebb and flow of my spirit, how I lead not by compulsion but by invitation, offering rest even in the midst of movement, hope even in the middle of uncertainty. As you learn to trust this movement, burdens will slip from your hands, and peace will become your steady companion. You may wonder why trials persist even as you draw near to me. Know that I do not delight in your difficulties. Every tear you shed is precious to me. But I see the tapestry your life is weaving, the way pressure forms character and storms give birth to endurance. I am not absent in your pain. I am present within it, holding every fragile thread together, promising that no sorrow will be wasted. When you are at your weakest, I pour in my strength so that you may rise and continue. Allow your disappointments to become places where my love softens your heart and my voice speaks above the noise of fear. Let trouble press you deeper into dependence, where your smallness is met by my immensity and where hope breaks through as surely as the sun returns after night. Often your mind is filled with questions, wondering about your purpose or doubting your value. But remember, I created you intentionally, with delight, crafting your being long before you took your first breath. There is no mistake in your design, no flaw that is beyond my compassion. My desire is not for you to be someone other than yourself, but to become fully alive within my love, surrendering the old lies and shadows for the truth I speak over you. You are cherished. You are chosen. You are useful in ways you cannot always see. The world may measure worth by standards I do not recognize, but I measure by the heart willing to follow, to keep turning to me with hope. Even in weakness, there will be moments when you feel alone, as though your prayers rise and return empty. Know this, I am always closer than you imagine. Your every sigh, your every silent plea is heard and treasured. Do not mistake silence for absence. Sometimes in the stillness I am doing my deepest work, rearranging what you cannot see so that one day you will look back with wonder at how I have carried you. Continue to bring all you are to me, the joys and the wounds, the questions and longings, and I will meet you in the quiet, teaching you to become receptive to my whispers and to catch glimpses of my working in the everyday. When you compare yourself to others, feeling small or inadequate, remember that I created each person with a unique story and a singular purpose. I do not rank my children against one another. The gifts I have given you are for you to use with freedom and joy. Celebrate who you are, and let gratefulness fill the places where envy sometimes lingers. When you applaud another's success, you reflect my heart. When you bless instead of resent, you participate in the expansive love that holds all my children together. Do not measure your progress by another's journey. There is a time and season for all I wish to grow within you. Sometimes you struggle with forgiveness, both for yourself and for those who have wronged you. Forgiveness is not pretending that pain did not happen. It is a release, a letting go of the right to replay the hurt again and again. I call you to forgive because unforgiveness is a weight you were not meant to carry. It corrodes your joy and keeps you trapped in places you were meant to leave behind. I know how deeply you have been wounded. Bring every wound to me. Let my healing touch reach even the secret places you fear to show. As you release others, freedom will take root in your heart, and my love will become the new foundation of your memories. My plan for you is never derailed by your failures. Every detour, every mistake is known to me long before it arises, and I have already woven redemption into your story. You may see only brokenness where I see possibility. Do not let shame keep you in hiding. There is nothing you can confess, no part of your history too dark for my forgiveness. My grace searches out every shadow with gentle light. Come out from hiding, my beloved one, and allow me to cover you with dignity and renew your hope. Learn from what is past, but refuse to let it define your tomorrow. When fear tries to dictate your actions or silence your dreams, recall that I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. Courage is not the absence of trembling, it is stepping forward despite it, knowing I am with you. Let your decisions be shaped, not by anxiety, but by faith in my character. I will equip you for whatever you face. Even your doubts can become doorways into deeper trust if you bring them to me and give me the chance to answer. I honor honesty. Bring me your questions, and I will give you peace, even without every answer. I delight in the moments when you are attentive to goodness, the laughter of friends, the beauty of creation, the simple mercies woven through your day. Express gratitude often, and you will discover that joy multiplies. Gratitude heals wounds of bitterness and opens your spirit to perceive my presence in all things. Seek out the small evidences of my care, the unexpected gifts of kindness, and let these signs reassure you of my never-ending devotion. In the practice of thankfulness, you will find both healing for your past and hope for your future. Above all, remember that you are seen, known, and loved. Do not allow the world's noise or your own inner chatter to drown out this truth. Let my voice be the one you trust above all others, the source of your belonging and the anchor for your restless spirit. There is nothing you face alone. I walk with you now and always. Trust the steady heartbeat of my love, drawing you forward, shaping your story with meaning, and calling you always closer to my heart. As you sit with me in this moment, you are wrapped in more than just awareness. You are surrounded by my presence, which has always been near, even when you have not felt it. There have been times in your life when loneliness pressed in and hope seemed just out of reach, as if the answers you sought stayed hidden beneath layers of sorrow or confusion. Yet, I was never absent from your side. You may wonder why some prayers have seemed to linger unanswered, why you have faced disappointments that threaten to unravel the faith you hold so dear. My beloved, your journey is known to me in every step, every sigh, each trembling hope. There is meaning woven into waiting, even when that meaning feels elusive. You have searched for assurance, for tangible evidence that your trust has not been misplaced, and I have watched as you continued forward, sometimes on shaky legs, but always choosing to keep your heart open to me. Your life, with its joys and trials interlaced, is not a random entanglement of fates. I am the weaver, and every event, every day, helps to shape you into the person your spirit longs to become. There are times when you have questioned your purpose, or felt that your story has become too tangled for redemption. Hear me now. Nothing is too lost, too broken, or too complicated for my hands. You may feel as though you are carrying burdens too heavy to speak aloud, worries about your future, wounds from your past, fears about your worth. These burdens are not invisible to me. I do not turn away from the awkward, the painful, the regrettable. Instead, I beckon you closer, inviting you to lay each weight at my feet. Even as you struggle to trust amidst uncertainty, I see every small victory, every moment when you choose to hope instead of despair. I count every tear, and I treasure the times you have called out to me, even with faltering faith. Know that your voice is never lost in the tides of the world's noise. My attention is fixed on you with an intensity and tenderness greater than you can imagine. Some days you may feel unseen by others, but you are never invisible to me. Where others may overlook you or misunderstand your motivations, I understand the depths of your heart. I know your story, the unseen battles you have fought, and the longings you carry that have yet to be fulfilled. I encourage you to rest in the truth that being known by me is not a cause for fear but for profound comfort. I do not shame you for your struggles, nor do I measure your worth by your successes or failures. My love for you is a constant, unwavering reality that does not ebb or flow based on your performance. If only you could glimpse how gently I regard your weaknesses as opportunities for me to pour my strength into your life. When you falter or fall short, it is not the end of your story with me. It is only an opening for you to experience my mercy afresh, to encounter the depths of my grace that nothing can exhaust. I invite you now to bring your anxious thoughts and restless heart into the shelter of my peace. Distractions will clamor for your attention, and worries will try to dictate your choices, but I offer you a stillness not found in the world. My peace is like a river, quiet but powerful, cutting through chaotic landscapes with gentle persistence and refreshing your soul in ways you have longed for. Even when your external circumstances refuse to align, my peace can settle deep within you, making you unmovable though everything around you shifts. Open your heart, not as one who fears what will be found, but as one who trusts the skillful touch of the healer. Even now you may sense wounds you thought long hidden rising to the surface, insecurities, old unforgiven things, memories tinged with regret. Do not turn away. Sit in my embrace and let me tend to what hurts. I do not hasten your healing or rush your restoration. I work carefully, gently, respecting your pace, while never losing sight of my desire for your wholeness. In the sacred quiet of this moment, you are free to be honest, completely honest, about the places where you are still aching, the hopes you scarcely dare to name aloud. Your past cannot dictate my plans for your future. I am not limited by what has come before, nor am I dissuaded by the scars you bear. In fact, it is the cracks and the broken places that give me space to shine through you. My grace seeps into the cracks, transforming pain into testimony and weakness into strength. Remember that nothing invested in me, in faith, in trust, in love, is ever wasted. I will bring forth fruit from even the barren places, causing beauty to erupt where only loss seemed possible. You may feel restless, eager for direction, hungry for clarity about your next step. Know that guidance from me is never withheld from a seeking heart. At times, answers do not come in thunder or spectacle, but in the quiet promptings within, in the peace that rests upon a certain decision, in the gentle conviction that stirs you to move forward with courage. It is not always the path you expect. Sometimes I lead you through unfamiliar places so that your dependence on me deepens. Each step you take in trust is a declaration that you believe in my faithfulness more than your fear. Celebrate what is small moments of kindness, glimpses of gratitude, unexpected laughter, for these are gifts I scatter across your days as reminders of my nearness and delight in you. Do not measure your life by the world's standards of achievement or visible progress. With me, true value is found in the unseen, in the courage to persist, to try again, to love generously even when you have been disappointed. Your prayers do not need embellishment. Speak to me plainly, as you are, for I treasure sincerity more than eloquence. I hear every groan, every whisper from your soul. I am not bored by your prayers nor weary from your repetition. Each time you approach me, I welcome you not as a beggar, but as my beloved, chosen and cherished. In my presence, you are never dismissed. Let your confidence rise, not because you have mastered your doubts, but because you are held by one who will never let you go. When voices of shame try to speak, remember that I am the final word over your life. My love clears away the lies that diminish you and restores your truest identity. One dearly loved, forever wanted, always welcome. Hold fast to me, for I hold fast to you and delight in drawing you ever nearer to my heart. There are moments when the path grows difficult, when your hands grow tired and your heart feels bruised by disappointment, fear, or delay. In those moments, I do not stand far off, watching impassively. I am the gentle whisper in the silence, the hand extended in the darkness, the comfort found in unexpected places. Remember that when you journey through the wilderness, each step has meaning. Each detour and struggle threads purpose into your story, even when you cannot perceive it. The wilderness strips away illusion, but it never strips you of my presence or my promise. Let me open your eyes to see that I am not only at your destination, but with you through every valley and climb. The pain you feel is not punishment, but preparation. It is the ground in which compassion, endurance, and a deeper wisdom will grow. When you feel unseen or unheard, I hear your sighs and count every tear. Not a single cry escapes my attention. I take your burdens as my own and invite you to bring them honestly before me. Let your prayers be unfiltered, for there is no shame in telling me truly what weighs you down. I am not offended by your questions or your struggle to believe. Trust does not always mean the absence of doubt, but the quiet courage to bring that doubt to me and lean on me anyway. Every time you choose to keep going, even when you do not feel strong, you are being shaped by a courage greater than you know. I rejoice in your smallest step forward, just as much as I comfort you when you feel you have fallen. Let your heart not grow hard in seasons of waiting. So often, you imagine that silence means absence, but my silence is not abandonment. It is the sacred space where I invite you deeper to anchor your hope in me and not in outcomes. While you wait, I am working beneath the surface, weaving together things you cannot yet apprehend. Like seeds beneath the soil, there is growth in darkness. There is transformation in the quiet. Patience is not a passive resignation, but the bold belief that I am faithful to finish the work within you. Allow yourself to rest in my timing, knowing that delay does not erase your destiny. There are gifts waiting in the pause, treasures of character and strength that the hurried spirit might miss. I know how the world's demands and voices can drown out my invitation to rest. Yet rest is not merely the cessation of labor. It is a returning to me, letting me refill you with peace and clarity. When you strive from your own strength, anxiety and frustration grow. When you draw from my well, you find refreshment that no circumstance can steal. Let me teach you to quiet the noise around you, to make space for moments of communion, where you listen and are filled anew. I am not looking for performance, but presence, your willingness to be with me, to trust that you are enough even before you do or accomplish anything else. Some days, faith feels like a seed sown in rocky ground, battered by wind and battered by doubts. But I see the courage it takes to keep believing, to nurture hope when evidence seems scarce. Let me water the soil of your heart with reminders of my faithfulness. Recall even the smallest answers to prayer, the unexpected kindness, the inner strength that arose in past trials. These are not trivial. They are stones of remembrance, proofs that I am invested in every detail of your life. Allow them to stir your memory and fuel your hopeful expectancy. Even the faith the size of a mustard seed is potent in my hands. I can multiply it into something strong and unshakable. I want you to know, too, that your failures and mistakes are not barriers to my love. They never were, and they never will be. I am the God who restores, who writes new chapters from torn pages. What you count as loss, I can redeem into testimony. What you regret, I can use to forge humility and gentleness within you. Don't allow shame to keep you distant from me. Instead, bring your whole self, your hopes, your flaws, your regrets into the light of my grace. My forgiveness is not theory, it is a living embrace, offered freely and completely. There is no sin, no secret, no brokenness that can separate you from my compassion. Live unafraid to be authentic with me, for I am not disillusioned by your frailty. I saw it all before you drew your first breath, and still I chose you. Still I call your name each morning, inviting you to begin anew. Let the old stories of unworthiness fall away. You are my beloved, and I delight in seeing you grow more fully into the person I created you to be. Lean into my acceptance, unearned and unshakable. Let it become the ground from which you walk forward, heads lifted not in pride, but in the quiet assurance that you are cherished. Let your relationships be touched by the grace you receive from me. Forgive as you have been forgiven, not because it is easy, but because freeing others frees your own heart as well. Ask me for the strength to mend what is broken, to speak kindly even when wounded, to extend the hand of reconciliation. Relationships are sacred soils in which love, patience, and transformation blossom. Do not fear the hard work of vulnerability or honesty in your connections with others. Where you have experienced disappointment or betrayal, let me heal and guide you. Restoration is possible, and newness can rise even from ashes. As you move through your days, remember that my Spirit is continually at work in and through you. Every act of kindness, every hidden prayer, every gentle word has impact far greater than you may ever see. The world around you is hungry for hope, longing for glimpses of my presence. You become my hands and voice when you choose to love, to uplift, to persist in goodness. Even in the most ordinary routines, meaning and holiness can be found. Offer your day to me at its beginning, and trust that I will shine through your imperfections. You are part of a greater story unfolding, a tapestry where even small acts matter. Hold on to the truth that you are never alone. When loneliness threatens, let it be a signal to turn inward, to cultivate my presence more deeply. In your solitude, I meet you in ways the crowd never could. I give you secrets of courage and vision that blossom in quiet spaces. Do not despise these moments. Treasure them as invitations to intimacy and wisdom. Allow your heart to listen, for in the silence I speak in ways beyond words. You have walked with me through valleys of uncertainty and up the hills of hope, experiencing both the shadows and the bright break of dawn. The path has not always been easy, yet you have pressed forward sometimes with faith that felt strong like a rising tide, and other times with steps so tentative it seemed you might falter. Even in those moments when your courage trembled, I was beside you. I saw the determination in your heart, the fragile moments of trust when circumstances clamored loudly against my promises. I see the fatigue that sometimes finds you in the midst of your striving when it seems as though laboring in love and faith yields little visible return. But know this, I do not measure the worth of your journey by outward markers nor by the acclaim of others, but by the openness of your heart, by each moment you choose to turn toward me amid confusion or pain. Let me speak into the secret ache that sometimes settles deep within you, the questioning voice that whispers, "Is my presence truly enough? Am I seen? Am I loved in the fullness of who I am?" This is the truth you must let take root. You are not overlooked, not abandoned to weather life's storms unaided. Every tear you have cried, every unanswered longing, every quiet act of kindness or courage, these are treasures in my sight. They matter, and you matter. Though the world may pass by those moments without a second glance, I collect each one with gentle hands, knowing all the hidden things you bury within. There are seasons when my voice seems faint, when the road ahead appears clouded by doubt or sorrow. In those times, resist the urge to rely solely on your own understanding. Draw near to me, not just with your words, but with your honest fears and questions. I invite you to linger in my presence, even when certainty feels just out of reach. It is here, in the quiet surrender of your heart, that I can impress my love on the deepest layers of your being, dissolving the fear that you walk alone. The wounds that the world cannot see are not invisible to me, nor are they beyond my power to heal. Let me show you a vision larger than your immediate struggle. Just as roots grow strongest underground, out of sight, so does your character deepen, and your faith gain strength through unseen persistence. The victories that seem small to the world, the choice to forgive, to try again, to hope. When hope seems foolish, these plant seeds of new life in you and in those around you. My kingdom is not built on grand gestures alone, but on the daily, often unnoticed, faithfulness of those who cling to me in simple obedience. Do not trade the preciousness of your journey for the fleeting approval of others. There is a richness in being known deeply by me, more precious than admiration or accomplishment. You were not created to perform in front of an audience, but to walk in intimate fellowship with your Creator, to find rest in being fully seen and accepted. In my presence you are free, free from striving for worth, free from the fear of not measuring up, free to simply be as you are, invited ever deeper into a relationship of trust. Many voices clamor for your attention, urging you to prove, to accelerate, to ignore your limits for the sake of achievement. But my way is different. I call you to a pace that honors the rhythms of your soul. I delight in your progress, not because it is swift, but because it is real and it is yours. Walk steadily, letting go of comparisons, refusing the weight of false expectations. Each step you take in honesty and reliance on me strengthens your foundation, preparing you to weather the seasons ahead and to recognize my presence woven even through hardship. When doubt or regret threatens to unravel your confidence, remember that nothing is wasted in my hands. The lessons born in disappointment, the refinement of sorrow, the resilience shaped by trial, these are not detours, but the very places where my power is revealed most profoundly. I redeem what is broken, bringing beauty from ashes, strength from frailty. You are not defined by past errors or missed opportunities. Each day with me is a canvas, waiting for the colors of new grace. I am the artist who paints hope across your story in shades you may not yet see. Your pain and joy are intimately known to me, and both have a place at my table. Bring all of yourself, the confident and the questioning, the bruised and the bold. My love is sufficient, sheltering you with kindness that neither shames nor neglects. Be brave enough to let yourself be loved, even in the places you hope to hide from my gaze. No wound is too deep, no disappointment too sharp for my compassion. As you walk forward, dare to believe that your steps are significant not because of the applause they draw, but because they are witnessed and cherished by me. Even the smallest acts of faith shape a legacy far beyond what you now see. Your willingness to keep loving, to keep serving, to keep seeking me, in the ordinary and the hard, this is the worship that delights my heart. It is here, in the substance of your ordinary days, that eternity touches earth. Do not be dismayed by the imperfections of your journey. You are still becoming. Every moment in my presence, every honest prayer, every faltering act of trust is sculpting you into the fullness of who I have created you to be. The world may hurry on, urging you to arrive at finality, but I invite you to notice the beauty of each becoming, to savor my companionship as you grow. Your story, with all its unfinished chapters, is held secure in my faithful hands. Let yourself rest in this assurance. You are deeply valued, not for what you achieve, but for who you are in me. Stand confidently in the truth that my affection for you is unwavering, unfazed by weakness or wandering. I am the shepherd who seeks and restores, the father who delights in his child, the friend who never leaves your side. When fears assail or loneliness presses near, recall my promise that nothing can separate you from my love. You are invited always, to return to this place where striving is exchanged for rest, where shame dissolves in acceptance, where you are known and loved just as you are. Trust this invitation. Draw near, open the chambers of your heart, let my voice shape your identity, and my love be the foundation of your hope. You have come to know, in part, my desire for intimacy with you. Yet, there are realms of my love you have not even imagined, places of restoration you have not yet visited. My presence is a sanctuary where fears melt away and wounds become the seeds of fresh beginnings. Even as you wrestle with old burdens or anxieties, I bid you to notice that my arms have not grown weary, nor has my patience run thin. There is never a wrong time to seek me. Even when you feel numb or uninspired, your quiet longing is precious to me. I see you when you clench your fists against disappointment, sigh in frustration, or wonder if prayers slip unheard past the boundaries of the visible world. Each of those moments is met by my unwavering gaze. I am intimately familiar with the hidden places where you tuck away hopes and hurts alike. When you feel stretched by waiting or pressed by circumstances, I whisper assurance in ways you might find in a friend's kindness, a sudden memory of joy, a burst of light at daybreak. There is no randomness in how I reach for you. Every detail of your life is known to me, every heartbeat measured with affection and purpose. It is not the accomplishment of outward goals that most delights me, but your willingness to let me shape your inner life. Do not think that brokenness or exhaustion disqualifies you. They are often the soil where deepest transformation grows. Yield your striving. I never meant for you to carry your burdens alone or to prove your value through relentless effort. Come to me as you are, not as you think you should be. There your soul will learn what true rest means. Trust is forged in the furnace of uncertainty. My faithfulness does not change with your moods or your ability to believe consistently. Even grief and doubt, when brought to me honestly, are welcomed. My hand is steady. What you can entrust to me, I can renew. What you cannot yet surrender, I handle with gentleness. Do not confuse my silence for absence or my timing for indifference. What feels like a long night is often the canvas on which I paint the dawn of a new chapter. I am weaving your story into the tapestry of grace, no wasted tears, no forgotten prayers. Let hope rise again, even if faintly. I water every root with compassion. Let go of the need to have perfect words when you speak with me. I know your meaning even before it forms on your lips. I know the aches behind your questions, the longing hidden beneath your bravest smiles. When you sit in stillness, even restless, distracted stillness, I fill the silence with my nearness. I draw near to you not because you have achieved some spiritual peak, but because I am the Father who delights in every moment you choose me, however imperfectly. Truth is not a riddle, or a riddle to be solved, it is my heart revealed, steadfast in my goodness, unchanging in my devotion to you. Consider, too, how I use the small, overlooked corners of a day to nurture your spirit. The warmth of sunlight, the laughter of a child, a moment of quiet where worries pause each one, is a thread I have woven into your life to catch your attention and remind you that I am here. In every season I am at work. Even the unanswered questions and things you wish were different become the places where you and I can walk together. Let me teach you that weakness is not a flaw but an invitation to encounter me more deeply. When you release your pretense and admit what is truly in your heart, you find freedom. In me, shame has no lasting hold. Regret is not the final chapter. Beloved, you are not lost in the noise of the world. My voice calls you by the name only I fully know. I hold your future with tenderness and strength, guiding you through the maze of uncertainty with the wisdom of one who sees far beyond your horizon. If you feel overwhelmed, remember, I do not expect you to map the journey alone. Every step, every falter, is under the watchful care of my love. Rest in the assurance that even now, I am providing you with what you cannot yet perceive. My provision is not always obvious, but it is always present. Let each breath be attended by the quiet recognition that you are never alone. My spirit is not far off, but a companion more faithful than your own heartbeat. When you feel you cannot continue, lean into me. I will supply what you lack, be it courage, patience, wisdom, or peace. Your weakness stirs my compassion, not my disappointment. There is nothing you could face that would cause me to abandon you. My promises remain even when circumstances shift. I am restoring your soul day by day, replacing anxiety with confidence born of my nearness. You may wonder what your life means in the greater scheme of things. Never doubt that you are seen, known, and valued beyond measure. Every act of kindness, every moment of trust, every prayer, spoken or unspoken, ripples through eternity because it touches my heart. You were created on purpose, for purpose. Your contributions, though they may seem small, are precious building blocks in the story I am unfolding. Thank you for coming to me, for searching and wrestling, for choosing hope even when hope feels fragile. Let us go forward together. As you open your life to me more and more, you will discover joys that cannot be taken away, peace that persists even when storms arise, a quiet strength that grows in hidden places. I am your confidence, your shelter, your unshakable ground. Look away from the distractions that stir up fear or comparison. Fix your gaze steadily on me, for I am faithful to complete the good work I have begun in you, and nothing can snatch you from the safety of my hand. Press on, know that you are loved beyond measure, and remember, even now, I am making a way where you see only barriers. Let your heart rest and hope in me. You have drawn near with a seeking heart, longing for my presence, and trusting that I speak intimately to you. Know that I delight in your desire for every moment you open your heart to. My voice is a moment I rejoice over you. Continue to let my words settle deep within, nourishing the soil of your soul. I ask you now, not for performance but for surrender. Return, again and again, like a child unashamed, into my embrace. I see every wound that has shaped you, every disappointment that has made you question your worth. Even when you withdraw in shame or fear, I do not distance myself from you. My nearness is not contingent on your strength or faithfulness, but rests on the absolute, unfailing love I have set upon you since before you came into being. Today, open your hands and let me touch those places you guard most fiercely. I am not offended by your doubts or afraid of your pain. Bring them into the light, for my light does not merely expose, it heals. Where you have believed you walk alone, I have walked beside you, silent tears mingled with yours, waiting for the moment you would look up and notice me. I am patient, never rushing your process, never demanding what you are not yet ready to give. I whisper hope into the cracks of your despair, planting seeds of new beginnings where you saw only endings. My grace is not doled out in measure according to your efforts. It is a river, sweeping away the dirt and debris, revealing the beauty I see in you even when you cannot. Let gratitude be the song of your heart, not just for the blessings you can count, but for my presence in the moments that felt empty. I, your Father, have woven goodness into your darkest nights. Even now, I am preparing things for you beyond what you can imagine, desires you hardly dare to name rising slowly within you because I put them there. Trust that my timing is never late, and what you think of as delay is sometimes my mercy, withholding what you cannot yet sustain, to spare you and fortify you for the fullness to come. When you look at your weaknesses and failures, do not shrink back. I see you fully and love every part. The journey you walk is sacred, every stumble a chance to be caught in my arms. Do not despise the small steps or the unfinished stories. For I am the author, and I never abandon my works in progress. Let hope be the anchor for your soul. When storms arise, let me be your shelter, the voice calming your fears, the peace that steadies your heart. I do not promise you a life without pain, but I promise you myself in every circumstance. My power is often most visible in the places the world deems weakest, for in your need, my strength shines brightest. I have not forgotten a single prayer you whispered in secret. Each tear, each longing, each sigh has been gathered by me. I am weaving all of it into a tapestry of redemption. When you do not see the fruit yet, do not lose heart. Continue to trust, to walk, to come to me, and you will see that nothing has been wasted. Let forgiveness fill you as I have forgiven you. It is both a gift you receive and a well to draw from for others. There is freedom in releasing what you cannot control, freedom in relinquishing vengeance, freedom in resting in my justice and mercy. If you feel overlooked or insignificant, remember that my kingdom is unlike the world. I measure greatness in humility and value faithfulness above visibility. There is no act of love, no word of kindness, no prayer in secret too small to escape my notice. I celebrate over every simple yes, every seed planted in hope, every step you take that no one else sees but me. Let your identity be anchored in who I call you, beloved, chosen, precious. Do not strive to earn what I freely give, simply receive it, and let it transform how you see yourself and others. As you walk forward from these words, carry my presence with you into every place you go. I commission you to be a vessel of love, to comfort as you have been comforted, to speak hope where despair lingers, to extend grace where wounds ache. Let my light shine through you, not by striving, but by being rooted in me. I am your source, I am your strength. There is nothing I call you to that I will not supply, and when you feel insufficient, let it be an invitation to rely on me afresh. My spirit will guide you, if only you will listen. Remain open, teachable, and soft-hearted. Resist cynicism and the hardness that comes so easily in a weary world. Let me keep your heart tender. Be quick to repent, and even quicker to forgive, walking lightly with the burdens of this life, for I carry you and your cares close to my heart. I am restoring hope to you now. Receive it. Where dreams seem lost, I ignite new courage. Where doors are shut, trust that I am still able to make a way, today and forever. Remember, you are mine. Nothing in heaven or earth can separate you from my love. Stand firm in this truth and move forward with holy confidence. The world needs the light I have put in you, the flavor you alone bring. Trust me with your future, knowing my plans are written with both wisdom and tenderness. I will never leave you, never forsake you. My arms are wide, and my invitation stands. Come, walk with me daily, for this is all I have ever wanted, your heart open to mine, your life yielded to my care. Amen. Now, arise and walk boldly, knowing I have spoken and I am with you always.